Hello, Leo, and welcome to your reading for the week of January 23rd through 29th, 2024. I'm almost saying 2023. If you're returning to this channel, welcome back. It's good to have you back again. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please do consider, in all cases, hitting the thumbs up if this reading appeals to you. You could leave a comment. And if you feel that these readings appeal to you, then please consider hitting the subscribe button if you have not already. This reading is for you if you are a Leo sun, a Leo moon, a Leo rising, or have some other kind of significant Leo placement in your chart. These readings I do weekly now, and if you so choose, which again, there's obviously no obligation, down in the description box, I have links to both my PayPal donation site and also to my website, liminalreiki.com, which is where I offer life coaching, spiritual life coaching in transitional situations. And this includes astrology, human design, tarot, and Reiki, and basically other things too. With coaching, there's a whole lot more that goes along with it. If anything of it interests you or you feel called to it, please check out the link at liminalreiki.com in the description below. And I also want to mention that I have an Instagram, transition.life.coaching. Maybe some of you follow that already. And let's make sure I get the camera on this correctly. And transition.life.coaching, and I do daily readings there with the Essential Oil Oracle. I will pull a card every day, and I also give updates on coaching practice, different things, talking about different readings and different type of stuff that I do. If you're not familiar with these weekly readings, I do the 12 houses of astrology, and I use the Cartouche deck, which is an Egyptian deck, and I also use, to clarify them, I use a tarot deck each week. I choose a different one, and this time I'm using Guardian of the Night Tarot by M.J. Cullinane. And again, this Essential Oil Oracle, I will pull a card at the end just to kind of sum up and pull the reading together. Okay, so yeah, if you're new to this channel, you will see how this works very quickly. Okay, so we're going to go to the first house of the reading, which is Aries energy. This is you, how you present yourself to the world, how other people see you, how you want to be seen. And we have the Ten of Wands with Nephthys. So, okay, you may be having a little bit of a crisis here, Leo. Ten of Wands is a sense of feeling overwhelmed, and with Nephthys, there's a sense of not really knowing exactly what's next, okay? Nephthys comes up when we are clouded or unsure, or there's something to be revealed. Now, Nephthys also can have a very strong intuitive component. It can be somebody who has very strong psychic gifts, or somebody who is just has a kind of orientation towards mysticism, towards tranquility, towards this kind of thing. But I feel like it often comes up when there are things to be discovered. Okay, so in the first house, this is where you need to discover things about yourself. And with the Ten of Wands, yeah, I just feel like you may be carrying a lot of burdens lately that you are looking to lay down. And maybe you are uncertain about who you are and where you're going at this point. So let's see how that fleshes out during the rest of the reading. Second house is Taurus energy, and Taurus is financial. So Taurus has to do with your money, your possessions, your values. This is strong Venus energy. And we have Anubis with the Six of Cups. So there may be some protection here. Maybe you're protecting your finances and your money. Maybe you're there's a sense of boundaries that comes in with Anubis, or the sense of needing to feel protected. Now, this can come up to, I don't know, when you're trying to clarify or trying to figure out what the path is or where you're going. And Anubis is a great helper in this, because it says, when something is unclear, Anubis kind of guides the way through the darkness. Now, Six of Cups has a strong past energy, so there's a couple possibilities here. There could be a return to a past situation. Maybe there's a family or a childhood or a nostalgic element involved to this. I don't know why that's coming into my head so strongly, that this may be attached to family for some of you. But Six of Cups, generally speaking, is this idea of looking to the past or a past situation. So I don't know. I feel like for a lot of us, Pluto's just going into Aquarius right now. So I feel like the past is something that we need to let go of. but this may be a strong factor for you, and you may be feeling protective of your finances at this present point in time. Now, third house is Gemini energy, messages, self-effort, so self-employment, your own businesses, things like that. If you are in fact running your own business, this has to do with short-term travel, short-distance travel, messages, sometimes, writing and publishing and things. But again, this is a little more, it's opposed to the ninth house, which the ninth house has to do with deeper learning, higher education, and things like that. So this is a little bit more immediate kind of knowledge that comes with the Gemini house. And sometimes it has to do with sibling relationships as well. Okay, so you have the Lovers, which is the Gemini card, and you have it with Earth. So finances definitely seems to be a factor here, or there's messages about finance, or maybe you are thinking about starting your own business. With the Lovers here, which is, again, Gemini energy in the Gemini house, this has to do with choices and making decisions. So I feel like there may be messages going back and forth, or there may be communications right now around your finances. So so I feel like there's some decisions that you are going to have to make. And there definitely seems like the past is somehow an influence on whatever is going on in the present, if I go over here. So, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you may be feeling quite burdened at the moment, but I don't know. This suggests to me that there's money to be had. If you're not doing something on your own, if you don't have a side hustle, or if you don't run your own business, there is a sense that there could be money to be had from this particular quarter. Okay, so, but you do have some decisions that you're making right now, generally speaking, with regard to some kind of financial situation. Fourth house is Cancer energy, and Cancer has to do with the home, with your personal home where you live, with the family, with ancestry, potentially with the mother. Okay, and you have Crook and Flail with the Fool. So Crook and Flail, this could be, sometimes there's something legal about this. Crook and Flail can show up when there's, say, another lease to be signed, or rent to be paid, or something like that. Maybe there's some new thing that's coming in. Maybe you're thinking about taxes, or about something like that have to do with the home. And the Fool has to do with taking a risk. Okay, so I feel like, again, there's this strong sense here. When I see Crook and Flail here, I feel like you may be, it's suggesting that you need to have more confidence, you need to have in yourself, you need to have more an idea of authority, of who you are, of where you're going, and your ability to take a risk here. I just feel like a lot of this is about there's a need for a leap of faith with something, and maybe you're concerned. There's a side of you, Crook and Flail. There's definitely Libra energy to this, because it reminds me of the Justice card. But there's something also Saturnian about it, in the sense of, or even Aries connected, because this is about effort, it's about action, it's about authority, your own expertise, who you are, how you're going to move up in the world. And the Fool indicates that, there's something here where I feel like maybe you're taking a risk of some kind. And I think this is good. I don't think this is a negative thing. And I think this is going to, your judgment on this matter, I think, is going to be proven. Okay. But given what I'm seeing over here in these other houses, there may be some stress about taking this risk. So let's see what else we get as we go further. Fifth house is your own energy. It's Leo energy. So this has to do with creativity, children, love affairs. Okay, so you have Lotus with Temperance. So this is nice. This is a sense of peaceful continuity on both counts. Temperance is Sagittarius energy, but Temperance has to do with balancing something, integrating the old and the new, not worrying about something. It seems like there could be anxiety. So this could be anxiety about a child. It could be anxiety about a love affair. But there's definitely the sense, I think if you're looking for some dramatic new thing to happen, this is basically saying, things are going to just kind of continue along as they are. They're not going to get more dramatic or more stressful. They're not going to get less. But right now, I feel like your work is to, because this is also the house of leisure and play, I feel like you are about not being anxious. Like I said, I see this anxiety in the first house. So I feel like there is a need to take time out for yourself, to relax, and to find balance in a situation. You may be trying to take opposite ideas and merge them together in some fashion. I feel like the past and present are coming together for you in some way here. So take it as it resonates for you. But this is the area that has to do with your creative projects, with your children, and then potentially with love affairs. It's not necessarily going to be all three, but because obviously not everybody has children, not everybody's looking for a love affair. But yeah, there's definitely a sense that balance and the calming of the mind here seems to be a key. 6th house, this is Virgo energy. This has to do with your health. It has to do with things you may be worried about. It has to do with job situations and potentially domestic animals for some. Okay, you have Osiris with the Ace of Cups. So it seems like there is some kind of a new beginning on the horizon for you with Ace of Cups. I mean, Ace of Cups usually indicates new love, but it doesn't have to be love. It can be just a new situation, doing something that you love or something that you want. And there may be, thinking about stability here. There's a lot here about stability and trying to, keep some solid ground under your feet, make good judgments, that sort of thing. And the Ace of Cups seems to indicate that there is a new beginning, a very positive new beginning. So whether this means a new job for you with some responsibility, because Osiris has strong Emperor or Sag energy, there's definitely this idea of taking charge of something, or whether this is just about something that's going to stabilize you or stabilize your situation. Or there could be worries about this, In a health situation, I don't feel like there's a strong health element to this. If there is, then it would mean stable health, and if something hasn't been going well, there could be some kind of a new beginning. Aces always have to do with emotional things. So for some people, this could just be the idea of stress. We do have the 10 of Wands in the first house, so maybe there's a sense of needing to alleviate stress in some way. But I do feel like some kind of new beginning is coming around potentially a job or work situation, but around worries in general. I think there's just this feeling that you are at the beginning of something that you love and that you need to just stay the course. Like you are in a stable situation. Yeah, there's a whole lot of cards here. You've got Crook and Flail, you've got Earth, you've got Lotus. I mean, there's definitely this sense of just kind of being calm, being grounded, and staying in the moment on a lot of things. In the midst of feeling perhaps a bit overwhelmed and not quite knowing what the next step is going to be. 7th house is Aquarius energy. I'm sorry, not Aquarius, Libra energy. And Libra has to do with relationships. Could be marriages, could be business partnerships, contracts, things like that. Okay, and we have Hathor with the 2 of Swords. So Hathor is, again, there's kind of a similarity here to the Empress in the tarot deck. There's a sense of planting seeds, of doing something. If this is a woman's reading, this could be focused more on you and your own independence right now. If it's a man's reading, this could be a woman of influence. But we have the 2 of Swords here, so there definitely seems to be the sense of stalemate, of things not quite moving yet. It's really interesting here because I'm seeing a lot of looking to the past here, and a lot of trying to maintain balance or trying to stay the course on something. And in relationships with Temperance and the 2 of Swords, it's just maybe a situation where things aren't bad, but right now there may be some things that are on hold, or maybe decisions that need to be made, or something that's not moving forward. And again, whether this has to do with a business relationship or whether this has to do with a marriage or something like that, you can take it as it resonates for you. But the 2 of Swords generally indicates a decision that's going to have to be made at some point with regard to something. Again, could be a business partnership, could be a relationship. But at the moment, I feel like there's kind of a standstill on things, especially with Temperance and Lotus here. There's definitely a sense of kind of like, you got Osiris, like everything just seems to be like, holding ground where we are. Okay, it's that kind of energy. Okay, so now let's look at the 8th house, which is your house of transformation. This is where we see big changes come in, possibly things involving other people's money. Okay, so you've got 3 of Wands with Urias. This is definitely a strong message here. First of all, Urias is saying if there's I feel like there's an anxious energy through this. There's a sense of feeling like you need to decide, or you need to move, or you need to take a risk. And Urias is saying, whatever's going on right now, there's something unexpected coming in. But Urias to me is not a negative. I've been using this particular deck for 37 years, and every time I see Urias generally indicates that it usually comes up when there's an underlying anxiety about something, and it's saying, hey, you're about to get a surprise, and it's a good one. Okay, that's probably the best way for me to put it. I mean, if there are adversarial forces or adversarial people, this would indicate overcoming that. For some of you, okay, this is a very specific thing, but in the 8th house, which is a house of esoteric matters, the occult, I mean, Urias could mean some of you are taking control of something in a magical kind of a way. So, take that as it resonates, because this is a very strong occult card in terms of occult adeptship or being able to manage your energy. And interestingly, we have it with the 3 of Wands, which is a card of, again, putting things out and getting it back. So this is a card of manifestation, putting your energy out, waiting for the universe to bring it back. So I feel like you are in the process of doing this, like you are collaborating with others, you are reaching out, you are seeing what your networks are, you are seeing what your options are, and you are planting the seeds for the future. And there's a whole lot here about keeping things in balance and starting something new and moving into the future. So I feel like you are about to be surprised with something, okay? When Urias comes up, and I also feel like this is saying, especially with Crook and Flail down here, that you have the power, you have the means. I mean, it doesn't have to be occult power, right? It doesn't have to be magic or anything like that. I mean, it could be for some of you. But there's definitely this sense of, things at work, forces in play that are going to allow you to manifest what it is that you're trying to do. But again, 3 of Wands, these are very, very early cards. We've got aces. We've got the Fool. This is the beginning of the deck. We've got 2s. Only 10 we have is in terms of you are, some attitude that you have from the past is coming to an end here in the 1st house. I mean, 10 of Wands indicates a burden that you're about to lay down. You're about to move into a space that's unknown. So you are legitimately, Leo, at the beginning of something. You are really at the beginning. You are trying to maintain peace and balance and integration where you can. But there's definitely this impulse towards like, no, this is the time. This is a time of great potential. This is a time of almost figurative childbirth, in the sense that you are planting seeds or planting whatever to birth whatever it is that you want for the future. Okay, however you want to take off, like this little, I think this is actually supposed to be a hummingbird, but there's this idea of a quick takeoff here. So things are moving. Okay, so 9th house, this is Sagittarius energy, and this has to do with higher education. It can have to do with expansion, long distance travel, things like that. Okay, so we've got the 5 of Swords with the Twins. 5 of Swords indicates walking away from something that just seems pointless. Okay, so, and with the twins has to do with relationships or partnerships. Now, again, this is the house of long distance travel and higher ed. Sometimes it has to do with religion, philosophy, things like that. But this sometimes comes up when we've been in educational partnerships, or these could be relationships connected to a school or a college or a university. This could be somebody far away. Again, this is all connected to the Sagittarius house. And 5 of Swords may indicate something that you have found limiting, maybe something you're comparing something to. Like, I feel like there's a lot of comparison here. And what, 5 of Swords to me is about limits that we tend to place on ourselves. I feel like, with the twins showing up here, there's a need to maybe reach out to people who can expand your knowledge or further something, or I don't know. And again, whether this person's at a distance or whether this is somebody in kind of a mentorship position, either at a higher institute of higher learning, or whether it has to do with something with your church or religion or something like that, there's definitely the idea of somebody here who can provide mentorship, aid, or advice. And I feel like there's a need to either stop comparing something or there's a potential jealousy here. Maybe there's somebody who's creating friction or creating, problems for you because maybe they're jealous of what you have or what you're doing, or they're feeling, or again, there's this I just feel like the word comparison keeps coming into my mind. Like, oh, um, you're comparing a situation, and you need to take this broader perspective, and maybe there's somebody here who's going to provide that for you, or to kind of help you over these hurdles. I feel like it's connected to whatever's going on in the first house here. Like there's like an unknown here, and it may be saying you need to expand, not stick to limiting beliefs about things, okay? And you may need to go outside your circle, or even just go to people trusted in your circle to kind of move ahead. Okay, 10th house is Capricorn. This is about your career, fame, and reputation. Okay, so you have 7 of Cups with the Buckle of Isis. So you have 2 7s here, because this is a 7, and 2 plus 5 adds up to 7. So the number 7 might be important for you in this case. I'm just trying to see if we have other 7s here. We have 6, 10, 3, 2, Ace. Temperance adds up to 5. Fool is 0. Lovers is 6. So yeah, okay. There doesn't seem to be another numerological connection. This is the only one I see where you have a 7 and a 7. The 7 of Cups, first of all, it can have to do with something that you're doing electronically or online or through social media or something like that. This card comes up when there's work to be done. There's sacrifices that we have to make, something that we've given up that's going to lead to a better place or lead to a reward. So, yeah, so I feel like in terms of your career, there's work to be done. There's sacrifices to be made. Oh, yeah, here is the other 7. 7, Nephthys over here in the first house. Okay, there's definitely the sense that something, I mean, Buckle of Isis is the yoni. This is connected to the birth of something. And with the birthing process, there's a period of being patient. There's a period of working through stuff. There could be some difficulties. You know, and the idea is that whatever is birthed at the end is something that is positive, that is the reward. Now, 7 of Cups, though, again, there's this kind of ambiguity that we see with Nephthys. And so this may be the issue. Maybe you've made a career change recently, and maybe you're feeling quite limited. Maybe you're skeptical of the new beginnings that you've had, or you're not really sure what's going to pan out. Like 7 of Cups may indicate that you have lots of opportunities and possibilities, but it's kind of like, okay, but which is the right way to go? What's the right thing to do? So there may be a strong sense here that you need to get grounded in where is it you really want to go, and what do you want to do? I mean, I feel almost Saturn in Pisces, because 10th house is ruled by Saturn, and certainly this is very Piscean energy. This is a little more, maybe Neptunian, but there's also a strong Earth element to this. So I don't know. When I think Saturn in Pisces, I think like, yeah, that's the energy of saying, okay, let's take your dreams and figure out how they're going to be manifest. And again, the number 7 could be important. It could be 7 days, something's going to happen, 7 weeks, could be 7 months. So we're in mid-January. That could be by mid-August. It could even by the month of July. I don't know. But there's something here that you are, I feel like you're maybe working towards. And if it's 7 days, then certainly we're looking at something by the end of the month. But there's a strong feeling here that you need to put the work into something. You need to take this risk, because it's right opposite this first house where risks may be involved. Okay, and and the need to believe in yourself and whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, 11th house is Aquarius energy. This has to do with your social networks, your friends, and also your goals and your destiny and things like that. Okay, so you have 4 of Pentacles with Isis. Yeah, there's definitely a sense here that you need to be patient with something. Isis is a card of patience. It's a card of nurturing something, allowing something to grow. 4 of Pentacles, again, there's this focus here on stability, on trying to keep something in a certain place as it was, or at least being able to maintain status quo. So for some people, if you've made big financial changes, or if you feel like you need to protect your finances, because 4 of Pentacles frequently does have to do with finance, because it is a pentacle card. There may be a sense of needing to hang on to what you've got for right now, not make any changes. And I feel like, yeah, there's a need to nurture something. You had Buckle of Isis and this other thing, so I can't help but to feel like this has to do with career for many of you, or maybe just expanding your horizons, maybe having something having to do with school or education or something like that. I'm seeing this newness in terms of job situation. So yeah, I feel like right now you're maybe just looking for a situation where you can have structure, lay down a boundary, But also remember with the Four of Pentacles that sometimes we box ourselves in. We have to let go of something. We have to take that risk that we see down here in the 4th house in order to be able to move ahead. And finally, we have the 12th house, which is Pisces energy. And this has to do with what's hidden, what we are afraid of, maybe what we don't show other people. And you've got Horus with the King of Swords. Okay, so King of Swords indicates, I feel like there's an inner critic here with the King of Swords. There's some aspect of you that is being very sharp, very critical, very logical. And there's also a modicum of healing here. Family factors have to do a lot here as well. So maybe there's worries about family or what family's going to think. Maybe family has been telling you that what you're doing is a foolish risk. I don't know. There's a sense of this, and I feel like there's this, when I see this in the 12th house, I feel like the King of Swords is this inner critic, this one that's trying to eviscerate you and eviscerate your dreams. This is very strong air energy in a house that is meant for water, which is Pisces. But you've also got fire here. You've got Leo energy. So I don't know. There's the healing process that's taking place. There's something that you are negotiating or renegotiating. What I would suggest is that this King of Swords may be somebody who's a very, very harsh critic, internal harsh critic, and maybe internalized something from family or family background. But whatever it is, this is a fear. This is nothing to do with the reality. We all have that little voice in us that tells us that, our dreams aren't practical enough, or that we're, if we decide to take a risk that, but you really should follow the safe path. I'm feeling like that's not the case with you, Leo. And it's not that you're unsafe, because you've got a lot of cards of safety here. You've got a lot of cards of structure and protection. I feel like, and of course, of being able to manifest what it is that you want. But I feel like you are kind of stuck in this moment of indecision, and you need to just expect the unexpected, as we see over here in the 8th house, and use your personal magic, figuratively or metaphorically or literally, to manifest what you want. Now, overall, you have the Ankh card. So Ankh is a great card. Ankh is saying, like, this is a chance for happiness. This is you being in a space where you can love yourself, love your life, love what it is you're doing, having a real life, a real living situation, not one where you are, existing every day. And 2 cards came out with this, and you have the Page of Wands and the Magician. So yeah, speaking of magic, I mean, Magician, you have the power to manifest. You need to come up with a new plan. Page of Wands is, you're at the start of something, you're enthusiastic, you need to fire up that enthusiasm and get to work. You have what it takes. I feel like okay. If I quote Rich Hall in his routine on Tom Cruise at the Apollo, he refers to the crisis of confidence. I think his joke was that Tom Cruise films, it's like he always does something, and it's like he's pretty good at what he does, but he has a crisis of confidence, and then a good-looking woman comes in and tells him how to be a better whatever he is. So, like, that's the plot of every Tom Cruise movie. So, so I just feel like that's what it is. You may be having a crisis of confidence. You may have an internal critic right now that's making you feel burdened. You have 2 cards of feeling like you're overwhelmed right now, particularly in the relationship to your career and your reputation. And I think you need to, and I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like a lot of this may be family driven, because there's 6 of Cups here. You've got stuff going on here about confidence and stuff with relation to a family situation. The reality is that everything's pretty much fine, and that you are planting seeds. But yeah, and there's something here in this either higher ed sector or in having to do with travel or somebody at a distance that's making you feel competitive, like you can't keep up, like you have to give up, like you're limited. And I just feel like this is something you need to get away from. You definitely want to have your feet on the ground with stuff, but your energy needs to be moved towards manifesting, not towards worrying. Okay? Let's see what your card is for this week. Okay, you have the Celery Seed card, and this is, and I will read to you the message that is on this card. The message is cleanse, is the key word that we have up here. And it says, the trigger statement is, there's no answer. The true statement is, I am the answer. The aligned outcome for you is simple, but not necessarily easy. Commit your goals to heart each day and know every single action will take you closer to them. Okay, so yeah, you may be feeling like you don't know what the answer is right now. Maybe you've made a choice to move ahead. Maybe the world is your oyster and you're going, yeah, but there's too much. Now I'm limited. Now I'm comparing myself to something in the past, and no, I mean, we are moving into Pluto and Aquarius. This is about different thinking. We are moving out of Pluto and Capricorn. Don't forget where we've been. Pluto and Capricorn tells us everything that's been wrong with the status quo, okay? Now we are moving into a new space, and so we are challenged to make something of that space. So, Leo, I think you have what it takes. You are the magician here. You have the energy to make something happen. And, however you want to look at magician, in a literal sense or just in a metaphorical sense, you have the magic to make something happen. So go for it, and don't let either family situations or past situations hold you back. I hope this was helpful to you for this week. Please definitely hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment if you would like, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe and pressing the bell notification. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.